Good afternoon, everybody. This is Coach Egan, Roger Williams University Wrestling Team. A new thing we're going to start here is a weekly review of each dual meet we have. Discusses things that worked well in the past dual meet or tournament, things that didn't work well, and what we can do to improve and make you more proud of us as a fan. So starting 125 last night, we traveled down to New London, Connecticut, where we had Nicholas Barbaria take on Dominic Summers from the Coast Guard Academy. The goal of this match was not only to win, but something Nicholas and I talked about before the match was, we need to put up some points, try to work for a major. And Nicholas did that. He worked very hard. He didn't end up getting the major. He had 3 takedowns, didn't give up any, so it was a tough match to get a major. It always is in college to get a major or bonus points. He worked his butt off, and he finished with an 8-3 win, but couldn't pick up the major for us. Moving on to 133, Captain Danny Roger, he had his hands full. He had a 2-time All-American, 3-time NCAA qualifier in Nate Giorgio of Coast Guard Academy, and this is a tough match. It was something that we were definitely the underdog in, and we came away losing the match. Danny Roger ended up getting pinned in the first period early, so we were down 6-3 going into 141, where Justin Cochran, another freshman of ours, he was wrestling Matt McAllister from Coast Guard Academy, and this is a kid that we've pinned twice, and same thing with Barbaria. I talked to Justin and said, we need bonus out of you here. We need to pick up points. Decision is not good enough. And Justin wrestled tough. He got an early takedown. And then the kid McAllister's well coached. He knew Justin was coming with the cradles. He kept his head up the whole time, and we couldn't get bonus. Justin ended up winning, looks like 10-6. So couldn't get a major out of him, and that did cost us later in the match and put pressure on guys that we didn't want to put pressure on. Moving on to 49, Danny Downs does what Danny Downs always does, and he put on a show. We ended up majoring the kid, Matt Vieira, from Coast Guard Academy, beat him 16-3. This is a kid that we had a really tough match with in regionals last year. We beat him in overtime to move on. So putting up a 16-3 win was great. I was hoping he could get the tech at the end of the match and get a quick tilt or a quick takedown, and just couldn't do it. But Danny did what we needed him to do. He picked up the major. 57-65, this is where things really got tough for the Hawks. At 57, we had Ty Herzog wrestling a freshman from Coast Guard Academy, Chris Sullivan, and this is a kid we beat 11-0 last weekend at the Doug Parker tournament. This is a kid we needed to get bonus points on. This is a kid we needed to beat, and Ty was doing just that. He was up 8-1 in the second period, and if you guys know Ty, he's a super funky wrestler, and he lives and dies by the funk. He had legs in, he was on top, and the Sullivan kid kind of went for a suicide roll and ended up on top of Herzog with his legs in and with a really deep power half. So it was a tough pill to swallow as he just kind of grinded us over with the power half, and he ended up sticking Ty in the second period. And the momentum shifted from Roger Williams all the way to Coast Guard. You could see their bench get lively. And we sent a freshman out of 65, Pete Hilburn. The two guys traded off takedowns. We're up 3-2 in kind of a same situation. The kid from Coast Guard, Palumbo, who was an all-region wrestler last year, he kind of hit some sort of suicide roll and ended up on top and pinning our kid, Hilburn. So we go from being up 10-6 to down 18-10, and we basically need every kid on our team to win for the rest of the match for us to win. So it was tough. The heat was on. We were starting to get a little bit scared on our bench, and Goldner went out there and kind of shifted the momentum. He did not wrestle well, so I don't want to give him too much props, but he came away with a gritty win. He worked his butt off. This is a kid he had beaten last weekend at Doug Parker. So it was a closer match than I wanted it to be, but Goldner did what he had to do. He went out, he got aggressive, and he won. Same thing with Albina. He's been a little banged up. He's a kid we wanted to keep off the mat if we could last night. So kind of last second we threw him in, and he went out and beat the kid from Coast Guard, who's a very tough wrestler. He ended up, let's see here, 1, 2, 3 takedowns to 1, Albina. This is with a bum shoulder, so it was great to see him kind of come away and do what he had to do to get the win. Moving on to Welsh. Welsh was great. He finished with a major. He was killing the kid on his feet. With Welsh, I talked to him before. I said, we need 5 or 6 out of you. We need a tech or a pin, which is a tall order out of David. He wins a lot of matches. He wins a lot of majors, but pins and techs is tough. It's tough in college, and he couldn't come through with the tech. He couldn't come through with the pin. So moving up to Foster at heavyweight, he has to win. Now all the pressure's on, all the heat's on, and I hate doing that to kids, especially young kids. Kyle's only a sophomore. He's a very good wrestler, but it's not fair to do to him. But we had to do it. Put all the pressure on Kyle, and he stepped up. He manned up, and he ended up beating the kid 7-3 from Coast Guard. This is a kid that's very tough. Definitely a kid that's capable of beating Kyle. And Kyle did not succumb to pressure. He stepped up. He ended up winning the match and gave the Hawks a 23-18 final win. So it was very nice to move to 2-0, 2-0 in the Pilgrim League. And like I said, not our finest night last night, but we'll take it. We'll move on, and we're going to take on Norwich tomorrow night. So hopefully all you guys can get out tomorrow night and support us. We'd like to pack the gym. It's our only home dual meet of the semester. So keep working hard, keep believing in the system, and thanks again for supporting us and doing everything we can. Go Hawks.